There are a few intriguing and some fascinating things you did not know about cell phone towers. First and foremost, did you know that cell phone towers are not always towers? Sometimes they are small pieces of equipment placed on the top of a building, on a lamppost. Sometimes they are disguised as trees, cactus plants, church steeples, and the like. You probably drive past a number of cell phone towers without realizing that they are cell phone towers. Secondly, did you know that cell phone towers beam electromagnetic waves at the speed of light? Yes, it is why you are able to hear the other person at the end of the line in real time. Transmission is super fast. It might also interest you to know that cell phone towers hand over your calls and your connections to one another like in a relay race. You know those races where one person collects the baton from another and then runs and hands it over to another. So if you happen to be walking, running, driving, or you're traveling in a bus or in any other land vehicle, you are meeting and leaving behind multiple cell phone towers all the time. And what happens when you are in motion like that is that one cell phone tower is handing you over to the next one and handing you over to the next one. Which is why sometimes when you are in motion, your telephone call connection is not as stable as it is when you're standing still. It might interest you to know that some cell phone towers are powered by solar panels or by wind turbines. Yes, not all of them run on gas, gasoline, petrol, or diesel. Some are powered by solar panels and some are powered by wind turbines. I mentioned earlier that cell phone towers often are not all towers. Yes, but where there are towers, most of them are within the range of 50 to 200 feet tall, but the highest, or should I say, the tallest cell phone tower in the world is over 2,000 feet high. Yes, 2,000 feet tall. That's the tallest cell phone tower in the world. Fantastic, right? Did you know that 5G cell phone towers have much shorter range than 4G and 3G cell phone towers? The average 4G, 3G cell phone tower has a range of 20 to 35 miles, but 5G towers often are in the range of a mile or two, maybe a little bit more depending on location and the specifics. But as a rule, 5G towers have a much shorter range, so you need many more of them in a specific area than you would need 4G and 3G towers. No matter the carrier or mobile network operator that you belong to, many times these carriers share towers. That means each cell phone tower you see is likely shared by a multiple of carriers. You would have, for example, AT&T and T-Mobile using the same cell phone tower in a particular location. Why do they do this? It is to lower the costs of operation. They are able to share the costs of keeping it running and maintaining that location. This ought to be obvious to everyone, but cell phone towers run 24/7, except for when something nasty, something terrible happens. But cell phone towers run 24/7. And it is for this reason that they often have backup generators, inverters, batteries, so that should there be a failure of public power supply, operations to your location are not disrupted. And lastly, Most cell phone towers are connected to one another through fiber optic cables. But where fiber optic cables are not feasible, practical, or reasonable, cell phone towers often use satellite links for backhaul. So, in other words, where it is impractical or does not make business sense to run cables to a cell phone tower, especially in rural areas in the middle of nowhere, such cell phone towers will use a satellite connection to stay connected to the network as a whole. These are things about cell phone towers hopefully you did not know before, but now know. I'll see you in my next video.